So good morning or good evening everyone. Thanks for attending today's webinar. Today we'll run through Open-AudIT Cloud, what it does and where it fits into the Open-AudIT product stack. We'll make the finished version of this webinar available as soon as possible for those people that couldn't make it today. So let's get into it. So what is Open-AudIT Cloud? Well, put simply, it's Open-AudIT hosted by Opmantek for you to use. It's running in the cloud. What can it give you that the traditional on-premise installed Open-AudIT can't give you? Well, because Opmantek hosts this application, you'll receive updates and bug fixes and improvements much faster than the traditional method that involves, us creating a release and shipping it and you guys installing it. If you're running Open-AudIT Cloud, you get all the new features first. And Cloud can also free you from some internal change management because organizations don't usually concern themselves with change management of a hosted service. For example, like when was the last time you approved a change to Google's G Suite? Or you approved a change that Microsoft did on Exchange, on their hosted Exchange? Or anything else in the cloud? You don't really do that. You simply use the service. So it's Opmantek's responsibility to worry about the upgrades and the outages, and you don't need to concern yourself. So there's no need to deploy internal servers to run Open-AudIT Cloud. It's running in the cloud. You may wish to deploy a cloud collector inside your network, but that's completely optional and up to you. If you don't need it, you don't have to deploy it. So what can Open-AudIT Cloud not give you? Well, nothing really. Open-AudIT Cloud is pretty much feature compatible with enterprise. You get all the great enterprise features like baselines and files and discovery options and all that stuff. It's just regular Open-AudIT without the drama of an internal installation. So how do you get Open-AudIT Cloud? Well, first you've got to make sure you have an Opmantek account. You'll have to just go to opmantek.com and sign up if you haven't done that already. Log into your account and then you'll need to go to opmantek.com/cloud. You may have to log in again and you'll be asked to provide a company name to identify your instance of Open-AudIT Cloud. Once you've provided that, we'll create an instance and you'll be directed to your cloud profile page. You might want to bookmark that page for next time, but here you can see the details of your instance. And if we click the Open-AudIT Cloud button, we'll be taken to our instance. We've been automatically logged in, so we'll see the default welcome page. And here you can start adding credentials, discovering your clouds, or you can download a cloud collector. You're in, that's done. It's set up and it's running. A quick aside, for those guys that have thrown a few questions in, we'll make a note of those and we'll answer them at the end. I've already made a cloud entry and I've set up some credentials previously. So let's just run that now. This is an Amazon AWS cloud with a couple of sample machines in it. One's running Windows and the other's running Amazon Linux. Once we click execute, Open-AudIT Cloud will talk to the Amazon API and it will retrieve the locations, the networks and the devices. It'll then reconcile those with any that it already has, and it'll make and execute a discovery for the individual devices that it's found on Amazon. So you can see the discovery running now, just like a regular Open-AudIT discovery, but without the port scanning. We don't need that. and you can see the details of the Linux machine and further down the Windows machine that are being retrieved. Once that discovery is complete, we can click on the device and we can see its details are populated just like a regular Open-AudIT device. All the hardware, the software and the settings, they're all there. It's just another device as far as Open-AudIT is concerned. You can also see the raw API output from Amazon for this particular machine. The details are recorded, and we've got existing queries that show cloud instances and audits and all those types of things. So what about auditing your internal network from the cloud? We use what we call cloud collectors. So these are installable on your network, and we have cloud collectors available for Windows and Linux. I've already downloaded and installed a cloud collector on a Windows 10 virtual machine, and I've also installed Nmap. I've done that ahead of time. So now I can log into that cloud collector on that Windows 10 VM using my Opmantek.com details. And once I log in, the cloud collector will automatically register itself with your instance, and that's it for the cloud collector. You're installed and you're connected. You're done. If we go back to our cloud instance and we go to Menu, Admin, Collectors, List Collectors, you'll see there's our newly registered collector. It's that easy. And now you can discover anything on your internal network. To discover your internal network, you'll need to have some credentials and create a discovery just like normal. I've created this discovery and pointed it at a few select IP addresses on my network. Next we create a task, and we tell the collector when to run the discovery, and that's it. The next time that collector checks with your cloud instance, assuming the task is scheduled to run, the collector will run the discovery and it will send the results back to your cloud. One thing to be aware of though, the cloud instance runs on Greenwich Mean Time. You can see that on the task collection and task read screens. You'll see the current date and time zone of the server. So just be aware of that, because your collector, unless you're also in Greenwich Mean Time, won't likely be in the same time zone as you. You'll have to allow for that when making your tasks. So when your collector checks the cloud instance, it's the cloud instance's time that determines when the tasks will run. So let's just change our task to run at 25 minutes past the hour. Now that the task is run, we can see devices from my network have been found by the cloud collector and sent to my cloud instance. They're just another device as far as Open-AudIT is concerned. It doesn't care where they come from. They've been put into the database. But what about if you don't want to discover your cloud or your internal network and you just want to see what kind of data Open-AudIT Cloud can provide to you? Well, we've introduced the ability to import some sample data. So this is real data gathered from real devices and anonymized. We provide, I think there's about 18 devices of various types. There's Windows and Linux computers, there's printers, routers and switches, all that type of stuff. It's just a good overall sample. So if you go to Menu, Manage Devices, Import Example Devices, and then click Insert, we'll populate your database with these devices. And you can see they're completely normal devices. You can see all their attributes as you normally would. So you might like to do that just to see what's available, and you might want to show your work colleagues. All the reports and all the queries will work out of the box. All the regular features work. You just don't need to worry about credentials and discoveries if you just want to see what Open-AudIT can show you. And when you're done, just go to Menu, Manage, Devices, Delete Imported Example Devices, click the Delete button, and they're gone. That's it. It's too easy. So that's pretty much what Open-AudIT Cloud is all about. It's Open-AudIT, but running in the cloud. So that's it. It's a pretty quick run through. I think we've got some time left, so let's check some of those questions. First, can I discover devices on the internet? No. We don't allow port scans from the cloud instance to the internet at large. We feel that's not much use. You'll usually want to discover your AWS or your Microsoft instances or what's on your internal network. So no, we don't allow that. Sorry. I suppose you could make a discovery of an internet range and send that to your collector to scan. That would work. That's coming from your network, and it's your issue then. I suppose it's up to you, I suppose. But you can't scan directly from the cloud instance, no. Another one, how's my data kept safe from other users? Yeah, sure. So when you create an instance, we create a separate database completely for you and just for you. We also create a specific set of credentials that are tied to that database and to your instance. So those credentials can't be used to access another database, and they can't be used by another instance. So there's complete data separation. We feel that's the safest way to go about things. And the last one, what if I don't have credentials? Oh, well, you're going to need credentials to audit devices. You can run a discovery without them, but you'll just receive things like an IP address, maybe a manufacturer, and maybe a type of the device, but that's about it. You really need credentials to actually talk to the devices and get the information from them. Like you wouldn't have your Linux server on your network open to anyone to access without a username and a password. So from that perspective, Open-AudIT is really just another user trying to access the device. So yeah, you will need credentials, definitely. And I think that's about it for this morning. It was quick, it was good, it was fun. Thanks for joining this morning, and I'll probably edit this a little bit, but we'll make this available as soon as we can. Thanks again. Bye.